Children, we have seen the different type of thermodynamic processes in the earlier class, and now we are going to see the Maxwell's thermodynamic relations. So these are very important relations in thermodynamics because they give the four important entities of thermodynamics. What are those equations? Please see here. This is the first statement. The work done on a gas during a change of volume is delta W is equal to minus PdV. Work done on a gas during the change of volume is same thing. The first law of thermodynamics is du is equal to dq plus delta W or dq minus PdV. And the second law of thermodynamics in terms of entropy is delta Q is equal to TdS. So these are the laws, du and dq. These are the first and second laws, but we have used the principle dw is equal to minus PdV, where W is work, P is pressure, and V is volume. So in thermodynamics, temperature, pressure, and volume, these are the three main parameters which affect all the terms. So here internal energy is related to the heat supplied and also the work done. And heat supplied is always equal to the product of temperature and its change in entropy. So this is what we learned in the last class when we were reading about entropy. Now, so we'll see the different thermodynamic potentials. You can see here. Thermodynamic potential is some quantity used to represent some thermodynamic state in a system. So system can be anything. Anything can be a system where some energy is utilized, supplied, and some work is done. So in that system, we have a quantity which we call it as thermodynamic potential, which will represent a thermodynamic state. So what is that state? The state is the supply of energy or the absorbance of energy or the emittance of energy or utilization of energy. So the state can be anything in that system. So work can be done or work may be done on the system. So we will see what are those thermodynamic potentials. Basically, we have four thermodynamic potentials. We will derive them by using the laws of thermodynamics. So please see the figure here, first statement here. Consider the first law of thermodynamics. du is equal to dq plus dw. So delta is a small change. Delta q means small change. D is the differential, you know, but delta will be represent a small change. So small change in heat, small change in work together will give you the change in the internal energy. So how can we represent that? So look at the figure here. See this figure A and see this figure B. So here delta U is equal to minus Q minus W plus food energy. So what is this? The change in internal energy is equal to what's happening? The body is emitting some heat and then the body is doing some work. So hence I am saying it's not absorbing heat. So it's not plus Q, and it is not, the work is not done inside the body, but the body is doing the work. So Q is minus Q here and W is also minus Q here, minus W here. And then there is some remaining energy, which is the food energy in terms of a human being. So this is how our first law looks for a human being. And then if I look at the plant, what's happening? We are giving heat energy to the plant. So Q is going inside and also some heat energy is coming out. There is some Q out also, but the entire thing is stored as food energy. So delta U, the change in internal energy, is how much it is the stored food energy. So the food can be in leaves, or it will store it in the form of fruits or beans or pulses, whatever it is. So a plant stores all the energy as food. So this is how you can explain the internal energy. So this is internal energy for us, and this is internal energy for plants. For machines, the same principle, delta U du is equal to delta Q plus delta W. Now, we will derive that equation. So what is the work done on a system? Delta W is equal to minus PdV. And from second law of thermodynamics, you can define the entropy, which is delta Q is equal to TdS. So we'll substitute this above expression. What do we get? Du is equal to TdS minus PdV. So this has come from du is equal to dq plus dw. dw is minus PdV. dq is TdS. So it is du is equal to TD minus PdV. So this differential form is known as the fundamental thermodynamic relation. This is the relation. The second relation is enthalpy. So enthalpy represented by H. H is equal to U plus PV. Also, this enthalpy represents the total heat content of a system. So the heat may be distributed as total internal energy and also the work done. PV is the work done. So you add up all this and you get enthalpy H. So dH is equal to, you just differentiate this above equation. You get dH is equal to du plus dPV or du plus PdV plus VdP. So we can now use the differential form in the internal energy. Du is equal to TdS minus PdV to substitute for du. Then what's happening? In place of du, you substitute this equation TdS minus PdV, and then you are getting dH is equal to TdS minus PdV plus VdP. So both these terms get cancelled and we are left with the equation dH is equal to TdS plus VdP. So this is the second thermodynamic relation we get. The first one was the internal energy. The second one is the enthalpy. And now we go for the third term. Look at this figure which will explain you about the enthalpy. So you have a source of heat here, and then you start heating this and observe this. So there is a chemical reaction going on, and then you're heating it, you're supplying heat, and then there is a chemical reaction. Here you can see there is some heat loss through this. This is an open system, and hence we are trying to see that the pressure is constant. So in enthalpy, we have to take care that the pressure is always constant. So if we close this system, the pressure will change. Automatically pressure will increase. Why? Because you are heating here, the molecules expand and the pressure also increases. But here, because we put this as open, what's happening? Because we put it as open, the pressure is constant, and then there is some heat absorbed into this and a chemical reaction takes place under this constant pressure. So this will explain what is enthalpy. So enthalpy is the combination of all these, the heat loss and also the heat absorbed in a chemical reaction. Okay, now the third quantity is Helmholtz free energy. So see the name here, Helmholtz free energy, because we have two types of free energy. One is Gibbs free energy, the other one is Helmholtz free energy. So Helmholtz free energy expression is F is equal to U minus ds. You just differentiate it. dF is equal to du minus dTs, or is equal to du minus TdS minus STT. And dF is equal to, you just, instead of du, I will place TdS minus PdV. So this will be the expression, and at the end I am getting dF is equal to minus PdV minus SDT. This is differential form of Helmholtz free energy. Next, last one is the Gibbs free energy. So we have four terms. Please remember, the first one was internal energy. The second one was enthalpy. Third one was Helmholtz free energy. And the fourth one is Gibbs free energy. It is represented by G is equal to H minus Ts. And then this is used to calculate the amount of work a system can perform at constant temperature and pressure. So dg, just differentiate it, you're getting this term, simplify it, and then we'll substitute the equation dh is equal to tds plus vdp from the previous one. So we'll take the value of dh like this, we'll put it here in dg, and then this is the last equation, dg is equal to vdp minus sdt. This is differential form of Gibbs free energy. Okay. So after finishing these four thermodynamic relations, we have Maxwell's relations with respect to these thermodynamic relations. So the same thing we'll see. This first relation is for the internal energy, second one for the enthalpy, third one for Helmholtz free energy, and the fourth one for the Gibbs free energy. So the four thermodynamic relations which we have seen, they can be represented in terms of Maxwell's relations. So these are the representation of those four thermodynamic relations. We'll see how to derive this. Okay. Now look at this. For the first one, the internal energy du can be represented like this. We just do this partial differentiation, dou u dou s ds at constant volume plus dou u dou v dv at constant entropy. Then what happens? We can equate the two expressions for du from this to see that TDS is minus PdV. Why? This is the first relationship what we know, du is equal to TDS minus PdV. So we just apply this here and this expression becomes like this. Then if I have, this is the term for ds. So there is one ds here and there is ds here. There is dv here and there is dv here. So directly I can relate the ds terms to ds terms and dv terms to dv terms. You can see here they are separated. There is no dv here and there is no ds here. So these terms can be directly related, and then what happens? ds and ds gets cancelled and I'm left with dou u dou s at constant v is equal to t. And say take the second term, dou u dou v constant s is equal to minus p. And then let us only consider the first of these, which is this one, dou u dou s is equal to t. What happens? So I can separate it as dou v s, dou u dou s v is equal to dou t dou v s. So I have just made it as a partial differentiation with respect to volume on both the sides. So I took the equation. Now what happens? See. So when I took that, I can take also for the entropy relationship for the P1 with respect to S. So with P with respect to S, I am taking partial differentiation. Then what's happening? So I'm getting this expression, which you can see here. And we can flip the order here, this way and that way. And then we have a relationship like this. And from the above two relations, we can say that dou t dou v is equal to dou p by dou s v. So this is the first Maxwell's relation with respect to the thermodynamic relations. We'll go with the second one. So second one is the enthalpy Maxwell relation. So this is the enthalpy statement, dh is equal to tds plus vdp, which I can do it like this in terms of partial differentiations. I can write dou h dou s ds is plus dou h dou p dp, and then I get like this, TDS plus VDP. This is the first statement, DH is equal to TDS plus VDP. So I replace this and then I get like this. And then I have two statements, dou H dou S is equal to T, dou H dou P is equal to V, which I can again differentiate them partially as we did earlier. So same, we follow the same thing. Then I get dou T dou P S is equal to dou V dou S P. So this is the second Maxwell's relation in terms of enthalpy. And then we have the third Maxwell's relation with respect to Helmholtz free energy. So what was the statement for Helmholtz free energy? dF is equal to minus PdV minus SdT. And then if I consider the free energy as a function of volume and temperature, so these are the parameters which are variables. These are the variables for free energy. Then I follow the same principle as we did earlier in for the two parameters. Then what's happening? At the end, I'm getting this equation, dou P dou T V is equal to minus dou S dou V T. So this is the third relationship, third Maxwell's differentiation with respect to Helmholtz free energy. Then we have the last one, which is Gibbs free energy. So what is Gibbs free energy? dG is equal to VDP minus SDT. So this was the relationship which we had, and I can represent G in terms of pressure and temperature as a function of pressure and temperature. So following the same procedure, same equations, and taking everything like that, at the end we are left with one expression like dou P T dou G dt P is equal to minus dou S dou P T. So this is Gibbs free energy, which is relevant to Maxwell's relations. Let us come back to our topic. So the next topic is Clausius-Clapeyron equation. Are you able to see my window, students? Are you able to see the PPT?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, now we'll see the Clausius-Clapeyron's equation, how to derive it. So this is for this derivation, which is Clausius-Clapeyron equation, we call it. This will be for a liquid vapor equilibrium interface, but it is equally well applied to the interface between any two phases. So there is a new term called as interface. Interface means which is in between two states or two media. So the thing which joins, which attaches two states or two media, you call it as interface. Ante rendu states ki madhyalo unna oka state ni you call it as interface. So interface దగ్గర ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ చాలా బాగా పనిచేస్తుంది అని చెప్తున్నా. సో దీనికి సంబంధించి we have this equation with respect to specific entropy of vapor and liquid phases. So the vapor phase is represented by SV and the liquid phase is represented by SL. So all the other parameters V and L represent liquid and vapor respectively. So you can see all that. So we'll solve dP from this equation, and then you're getting, so this mu is the chemical potential, and this potential can be defined like this, and then you solve dP, you will get something like this. And but the change in entropy is, for the phase change, is just L by T. What is phase change? Change of phase, in the sense one state to the other state. While moving from liquid to vapor, what's happening? Some amount of heat is being used just to change the state, but not to increase the temperature. That's, we call it as the latent heat. So that latent heat is represented here. Delta S is equal to L by T, and hence the equation is dP by dt is equal to L by T into V minus VL. All these three are in the denominator. T, V, VV and VL, everything is in the denominator. And this equation we call it as the Clausius-Clapeyron equation, which is very, very important. And now there's a next term like the specific heats, the ratio of specific heats and the difference of specific heats. So here I have defined all the terms you can see here. So constant pressure process, constant, you have definition of enthalpy here, and then see this is Cp delta T, then you have constant volume process with the same time. Then from first volume of thermodynamics, we have all this. And then the combination of equation we get like this. And at the end, you see the red box here. So this is the final expression what we want. So Cp minus Cv is equal to R, or Cp is equal to Cv plus R. So take Cv this side. So this gives Cp minus Cv, which is called as the difference of specific heats. So specific heats at constant pressure, Cp, and specific heat at constant volume, V, is, you take the difference, it is R, and you take the ratio Cp by Cv is equal to something called as gamma. So Cp by Cv is always a constant, which is represented by gamma. And this comes from the ideal gas equation. So you have equation of state, which is PV is equal to RT. So from that, so here the expression is different. H is equal to T plus PV, but instead of E, you can take Q, and instead of small h, you can take capital H. So you see all the terms here, which is given, and then accordingly you can replace and you get these two relationships.